Hello, welcome back to Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger on Sunday, May 2nd, 2021. We are a full week before Mother's Day, and if you were here listening to Soul Search Sunday at last year's Mother's Day, then you would remember that my relationship with my mom has always been very strained, very uh, uncomfortable, very chaotic, and awkward. So, if you were here hoping for my usual uplifting, inspirational, uh, uh, heartwarming Mother's Day tale, then I suggest you might want to stop this video now and come back later for something else. Because today I'm going to talk a little bit about this one thing that has always bothered me a lot about my mother up until even to this day. It is not going to be comforting, and it is not going to be fun, it is probably not going to be very funny. If anything, this will probably make some people feel a little bit grim and uh, uh, depressing. So continue listening to me, continue on today's Soul Search Sunday at your own peril. I think one of the things that disappoints me the most about my own mother is that she has failed to protect me. Almost every single time that I needed her protection, when I was still too small, too little, too young to protect myself, she failed to do so. When I was 8.5 years old, 9 years old, my father took me out of Taiwan and moved me to Canada, and I had to live with my stepmother, who was his legal wife at the time, and her children. And at their hand, I went through 2 years of hell. I experienced humiliation, I experienced shame, I experienced starvation, I experienced violence, I experienced deprivation. If you haven't, go to johnnytiger.com and check out the uh, short documentary there. That will give you a bit of an idea of what I went through those 2 years. And we will uh, talk about a little bit more of that in the upcoming Johnny Tiger documentary. 2 years of hell, 2 years in a country that I didn't know, 2 years totally blind, partially deaf, living with a woman that actually did try to kill me. My mother knew about it. My mother was staying in Taiwan. She knew what I was going through. She knew what life was like for me. She didn't take me out of that environment. She didn't do anything about it. When I was 14, my father beat me so badly with his fist, I ended up going to the hospital because I had blood leaking out of my ear. My only good ear almost went deaf. I could have ended up completely deaf in both ears. My mother stood there in the doorway, didn't even come and try to shield me, didn't try to pull him away, didn't even tell him to stop. Half a year later, half a year after that, my father again beat me quite badly, although this time I didn't end up in the hospital because I dared to lock my bedroom door. He kicked down the door and beat me. Again, she didn't do anything to stop it. And then a mere 4 or 5 months later, again, he beat me. This time when I was sleeping, I was taking a nap. I didn't hear when he called me from downstairs. He came upstairs and started beating me. Did she even rebuke him about it? Did she even say, hey, that was messed up? No. These were just four examples of times when, as an adult, I can kind of understand why she didn't help me, why she didn't protect me. Because she was afraid, because she was scared of him, and because she felt helpless. But the child inside me, even though I'm fully grown now, I'm perfectly capable of protecting myself. The child, inside, the inner child, to coin a popular psychology term, the inner child cannot, will not come to grip with the idea that a mother was capable to witness her son, her only child, go through these situations without even offering up a word of protest. I remember when I was 5 years old, I heard my father beat up my mom the first time. I'm sure it was happening a lot before, but that was the first time that I actually heard it. Uh, my dad came home and shut the door and started beating on her, and I was in the living room watching cartoon when I heard the whole thing. 5 years old. You know what I did? I went to the door and I intentionally threw myself down on the floor like I fell down, and I started screaming and crying outside the door. That distracted my father enough. He thought that the blind kid fell down and hurt himself. Then he came out and wanted to know if I was okay. I saved her from a beating then. When I was 14 years old, one night they started arguing at the dinner table, and my father was getting to the point where violence was almost unavoidable. It was certain violence going to happen. I was eating my soup at the time, and without a second thought, I dropped the bowl of soup, spilling hot soup all over myself to take his attention away from her. Both of them were so concerned about if I burned myself badly that they forgot what they were fighting about. When I was 17, when I heard that he was trying to beat on her outside the shopping center, I threatened him with certain death. I threatened my own father with certain death. that if he was to ever lay a hand on her, I would kill him. In 2017, 2018, a couple years ago, she and him, they had a big argument and she ended up running away from home, came to Canada, seek shelter with me, stayed with me for 4 months, completely drained my bank account, and then went back. Both of them made up, and everything was hunky dory again. Except for me, I was totally broke. 4 times she failed to protect me, and 4 times I protected her at the expense of my own safety and my own financial well being. If you asked me 10 years ago, if you said, Johnny, why do you do it? Why do you do it? She doesn't treat you like a mother should, then why do you treat her like a son should? I would have told you because it's obligation, because I am her only child. I am the only person that could protect her. But as I think more and more on my true reason for doing the things I did, for shielding her, protecting her the way I did, even at the age of 5, and for the reason that she did not protect me like the way she should, it has have nothing to do with obligation. Some people may say it's simple stupidity, but for me, the right answer is I did it because it's the right thing to do. Thank you for checking out today's Soul Search Sunday. I hope that wasn't too grim for everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow for Music Monday. For now, have a good night.